Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video. AITA for telling my GF, 20 female, that she is simply in a hole because of her behavior. Despite the fact that my girlfriend, 20 female, and I, 21 female, have been dating for over a year, we seldom get to meet each other's friends because of our hectic schedules and widely disparate social circles. We decided this year that we wanted to get to know one another's close friends better, so we started inviting each other to house parties, get-togethers, and other social occasions to do just that. My acquaintances were really easy to get along with and chatty, and the experience was a beautiful, amazing one overall despite my apprehensive nature, so she invited me to another house party this weekend. Even though they set up a group chat, which they did not include me in, I had not received any information from my girlfriend, other than the knowledge that the party would be in a different city. The child who hosts the gathering was asked some basic questions by my girlfriend, such as how the sleeping arrangements would be in general in terms of space, should we bring a mattress or a sleeping bag, and so on. And instead of answering the questions properly as I expected, she just blew up on me. Sets up my mismatch with her friend group, she told me I shouldn't be so arrogant, that I should respect their etiquette, and that I shouldn't ask these kinds of questions, and that she won't ask them on my behalf because her friends aren't the type to prepare ahead. She heavily criticized my character. When I became angry, I told her that being curious and not knowing hardly anything, wanting to know the bare minimum, isn't me being incompatible and a whining, it's me wanting to be prepared for a whole night in a foreign country with people I don't know and things like that. She acts like in a hole, and I don't even understand what she's saying. Because I always make it a point to answer her questions and make the time pleasant for her when we spend time with my squad. I also stated that because it's her good friend and I barely know the guy, I only had brief conversation with him once. I expected her to be reasonable and try to make things easier for me, and that her behavior is simply rude. She acts like in a hole, and I don't even understand. In response to my labeling her in a hole, she grew upset and declared that my argument is nonsense, that this is just how her organization operates, that she is powerless to change the situation, and that I expect too much of her. She was called in a hole by AITA for refusing to accept her arguments and labeling her as such. Update. Following our disagreement, my girlfriend emailed me a snapshot containing all of the pertinent information about the location and accommodations, and I could clearly see that she was the one who initiated the conversation between her and the person who was in charge of organizing the event. I was surprised that she requested for the information given how unhappy she had been before, but she did. So I made arrangements for everything to go well and complimented her for her cooperation. The next day, she was acting suspiciously, but I said nothing, other than a polite thank you, since I didn't want to get into another argument with her, and I didn't want to cause any friction with her friends. Since I was already apprehensive about meeting the new people, and we were on our way to the party, I made the decision not to say anything. My girlfriend decided to take me aside and apologize for her actions, stating she was quite sad with herself for having injured me. As the night proceeded, we became more easygoing and friendly with the folks I'd never met before. I had a really amazing time. She told me that following the dispute, she had given it some consideration and realized that her reasoning was completely ineffective, as you all pointed out, because she was angry for other reasons, school and family, but she didn't want to bother me because I was and am now studying for my university exams. She snapped at me out of nowhere, completely disregarding the implications of her actions. She told me that she wanted to talk before the party, but that since we were traveling by bus, it wasn't the greatest spot for her to do so, which I agreed with, which is why she seemed odd at first. She then explained that she was being unusual because she was nervous. She asked me to forgive her and promised that she would handle similar circumstances better in the future and that she would be more open about her issues, since she was plainly in a poor mood that day, which I was not aware of. I'm very happy with how things turned out. Edit. To those who have remarked that my grammar is poor, I would want to say that you are correct, and I am aware of it. Because my native language isn't English, I use a lot more commas than the average English speaker. I am a native Hungarian. I think in Hungarian and then translate my ideas, thus I use commas in phrases where I would use commas in Hungarian. Story 2. AITA for telling an employee she can choose between demotion or termination. My business is a vape shop. We're a small firm with just 12 employees, so every penny counts. Peggy, a member of my staff, was supposed to begin working yesterday. Peggy has just been promoted to manager, after 2 years of outstanding service as a cashier. I felt confident in her ability to handle the obligations. In the morning, 3 hours after the shop should have opened, I am greeted with 22 notifications on the store's Facebook page. Customers have tried to shop at the establishment, but it is now closed. Employees are reporting to work, but they are being denied access to the workplace. I phoned Peggy, but I don't get a response. I also texted her with the same message. As a result, I stroll inside the store and open it. A half hour before her shift is scheduled to finish, she phones me back. When I question as to her well-being, she responds that she needs to take a mental health day and engage in some self-care activities. Still annoyed, but I'm trying to be sympathetic since I'm aware of how important mental health may be in one's life. As a result, I ask her about why she didn't notify me immediately after realizing she needed the day off. The reason she couldn't do it was because she didn't have enough spoons in her drawer. To be quite honest, I'm not sure what it means. However, it seems to me that she is implying that she cannot be trusted with the responsibility of opening the company's doors in the morning. So I informed her that she had two choices: return to her prior employment and keep her existing pay, or resign her job. I completely disregard her. Currently, she is referring to me as different ists and saying that I am unfairly discriminating against her due to her poor mental health and her gender. The fact that she just called out for 2 minutes would have resolved all of this. In that case, I would have gotten up and opened the store on time. This no-call, no-show foolishness, on the other hand, is not a smart way to running a thriving business. Due to the fact that I am denying her of her development for circumstances over which she had no control, I think I am the AH in this situation. However, it's possible that she called me at the same time. In the end, Reddit, the decision is yours. Am I in a hole or kind guided? I returned after cooking a lunch to see 41 messages. I can't promise to react to every one of you personally, but I'm reading all of your comments. Anyone who poses a question that I haven't previously addressed will get an answer. Update: Peggy contacted me yesterday, apologized, and asked if we could meet for lunch. When we finally met, the first thing she did was apologize once again for the no-show, no-call, as well as her reaction to my answer. She stated that she knows I'm not or ableist. I'm not sure if I spelled it correctly. There's a red line beneath it, and that she was lashing out due to her mental state. I accepted her apologies and responded with one of my own, both for entrusting her with too much authority too fast and for responding emotionally. She told me she had a significant problem on Monday, and without going into too much detail, I'll just say it was the anniversary of a dreadful incident. She's taking all of her accrued PTO, 9 weeks, and we've agreed that I won't put her on the schedule on that day again in the future. She has stated that she is not qualified to be a manager. When she returns, she will take over as lead cashier, a position I designed expressly for her. This way, she may maintain her increase and not feel like she was demoted, but rather transferred laterally. I've also told her that if she ever thinks she's ready for greater responsibility, she may let me know, and I'll put her back on track for the manager position. I've also told her that if she ever finds herself in a situation where she can't call out, she can just text me a thumbs down emoji, and I will use it as notice that she will be missing her next shift. She's said that's okay, even if she's out of spoons. I appreciate every one of the 6,000 comments on my article, including the ones who referred to me as TA. Thank you very much to everyone. I'd want to especially thank individuals who described spoon theory to me, as well as those who remarked on the Peter principle. Both of these sorts of remarks substantially affected my behavior. Because of her remarks, I was able to better comprehend both her problem and my own shortcomings as a leader. Hopefully, we can both learn from this sad experience and become better people as a result of it.